Howdy, folks. Sorry, doing something. Let me kill some time.
When you almost heard I'm a real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a wild one. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching Vilemike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching Vilemike and his real wild child.
Okay. I didn't hear the theme song. Did you guys hear it? And I'm not hearing Elihu.
Is anybody hearing me? Because I keep
Now
on
I
seeing
can hear you.
with an echo.
Daniela said she heard it. I don't know why I didn't hear it. And I'm having
I
trouble hearing
did.
Elihu until just for a second.
Yeah, because I hear an echo.
What does the echo sound like?
All I hear is me echoing. One moment. I'm going to switch my headphones.
All right. Well, I'm trying to do something. Then I'll tell you about my interesting day so far. So let me try to fix this real quick. Yes, we're going to reduce to about half. Okay. Nope, too much. Or too little. And you're definitely hearing an echo?
Okay, how's my sound coming out now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Hey, I hear no more echo. Yay. What did you do?
I haven't done anything yet.
Oh, okay.
All right, we'll see if this fixes anything. All right, sorry about that. I mean,
like I said before, it's not a CNA stream unless something goes wrong.
well, right now some of the stuff is entirely my fault because I didn't decide to do things as early as I should have. Because Mrs. Vile picked up some medication for my roommate's sister. And I was trying to cross the border in order to get it to my roommate because she's going to overnight it to her sister who lives in Arizona. And that's one of the reasons why I'm in the States, but I was in Mexico this morning. And the funny part was, when I got up to the border, they were like, "Oh, you've been selected for a random search of your vehicle." And I'm like, "Oh, great." So they do the search, and of course they're asking, like, "Why do you have so many bottles of these pills?" And I'm like, "I don't know." That was probably the wrong thing to say because I'm like, "Oh, well, my roommate gave my girlfriend $40 or $60 to buy as many pills as she could for her sister," and it's like, "Oh, okay." And they're like, "Well, what does it do?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It's not my. I don't take the pills." But it was kind of funny.
At least you didn't blow smoke in the cop's car when he asked you how you drugs. You go, not anymore.
Well, the funny part was, or one of the funny or I'm not funny. I don't know why I said funny. What the fuck am I thinking? I don't know. I haven't finished my coffee yet. Last time I crossed the border and they searched the car, the guy did a massive search. I mean, he opened every box, every nook and cranny in my car and asked me about every single thing that was in the car. I mean, like, even stuff that I had sealed up for the eBay store to ship out, he opened those just to confirm the contents inside them. And it's like, oh, great. They're going to do that again. No, this time they didn't give a shit. They just, like, barely looked inside. They didn't even open my wheel well, the spare tire area.
Mhm.
And because I know that's one of the most common areas for people to try to sneak things across. They didn't even bother checking that. And I'm just like, okay, this is lame. But they, the pills they found just because they were literally sitting in a bucket with a bunch of cleaning supplies that I keep in the car. And the only reason I put them in the so they wouldn't be rolling around. Did you say anything? Because I can't hear you now. Yeah, it says lost Elihu's sound again. Dandelion's confirming, so it's not just me. No, can't hear you. I can see the little things around your profile picture, but I can't see you. I can't hear you talking. Yep. The CNA stream, where we maybe should rename the CNA stream from Caffeine, Nicotine, and Alcohol to computers not actually working. Yes, I realize it's CNAW. Well, it's just so it's not just me talking to myself. Anyone want to come on up? Link should be pinned. Rice Krispies on my end too, or on Elihu, just on Elihu's end?
Hello.
Dandelion?
Yep. Hello.
Okay, now I can hear you. I thought you were about to have the same problem Elihu was having.
Nope. Oh, I hope not. Like I said, maybe the interwebs are eating Rice Krispies this morning.
So is that what it sounds like on the YouTube channel? Is this
Yeah, it just sounds like snap, crackle, poppy noises. Yep. Yep.
Okay. I don't even hear that. I just hear, like, he was talking, then it was really, like, I was only catching every other word.
Right. I see.
Sorry, trying to drink some of my triple espresso mochaccino thingamajigger.
Woohoo! Yeah, I'm just finishing up a cup of tea. I was going to boil another kettle and then pop them for a bit, but I didn't want to leave you all by yourself while Elihu was having internet problems. It is. I don't know if it's rainy where he is, but it's like, well, pouring-ish. I mean, it's never really pouring here. It's not like out east pouring with rain, but it's like raining steadily here today.
Yeah, we'll have to wait until he can come back because it's
excuse me,
cloudy here, but it's not really been bad. No rain.
Yeah, I was wondering if he also had shitty weather because sometimes my internet sucks if the weather's bad. Let me take a look at the radar and see if that's his problem. Probably not. I don't think it's raining that far south. Nope, doesn't look like it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you. Hey, Elihu.
Okay.
Well, it looks like he's got like showers today. You got showers there today, Elihu?
There we go.
It's about a 20-30% chance of rain. Yesterday was 71 degrees. Today it's supposed to be 53 degrees.
Mm.
Oh, it was nice.
I don't know what that means. So, I mean, I know 70 is pretty warm, pleasantly warm. Like that's like 20-ish. 50's got to be what, like 10 degrees? Like, is it like above freezing, but not like a ton above freezing, right?
Okay. Oh, sorry, I forgot Celsius. I'm just sorry.
No.
Yesterday it was 17 degrees. Today it's supposed to be about 11.
Oh, well, that's barely any difference at all. 11 is perfectly good weather.
I know, but a little changing. So
yeah, it's supposed to rain here all morning, and then there's supposed to be a giant blizzard up in the mountains. So won't be traveling out of the lower mainland.
No, this morning, because I was leaving to cross the border early this morning, it was like I left the Mrs. Vile's place about 5:30 this morning, and at one point I come back in and I look over her. She's got herself covered from head to toe in her blanket, and the way she was covered, I'm like, was she? Are you on your phone? No. Are you on your laptop? No. Are you on your Kindle? No. Then why are you covered up like that? It was a little cold.
That's a hint that she wants to cuddle with you, dude. Come on.
Well,
we get that a lot here.
I had to leave, but it was just kind of funny because the way, you know how like little kids will cover their heads to like play a game or something, or hide what they're doing underneath the blanket. That's what it looked like she was doing.
Yeah, we get a lot of people at work who are much colder than, well, certainly colder than I am, because a lot of them are here from Mexico and some of them are here from India that work at the farm, so they are all used to it being way warmer than even though it's not that cold here in the Vancouver area, it's still way colder than they're used to.
What's it like in Vancouver right now?
It is raining, and let me see, what's the current temperature? It's 7 degrees Celsius, so that would probably be like 40 something.
48, 47, 48.
Thank you.
Oh my God, that's short sleeve weather.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I was out yesterday hiking, and it was about that weather, and it was pretty freaking hot. So.
Oh yeah, it was warm.
NB, I thought you might find this funny. The conservatives in the Mexican government basically have been using the same rhetoric as conservatives in the United States regarding people coming into their country from the United States. They're now saying stuff like, these people are bringing drugs and guns and horrible things into our country. We need to get them out of our country. We don't want them here.
Well, apparently it's people like you, Vilemike, that are bringing drugs into the country. I mean, you know, legal ones, but
I thought it was funny. She was telling me about that, and I'm just like, oh God.
Holy shit.
No, we'll take them here. Like we'll take people here because nobody wants to work the kind of jobs those people work. Like we couldn't get local people to work on our farms. The kind of hours, the kind of labor, there's no way.
You mean they're lazy?
No, nobody wants to do that work. It's not a lazy shit. It's not a laziness issue. It's like you can't pay me enough money to do this job. There's other jobs I could be doing. They're not lazy. They're doing jobs. They just don't want those jobs. So we get,
Dandelion, my grandfather back in Texas used to get yelled at by certain people in that area because he would hire Mexicans and black people essentially to work his farm.
Yep.
And they would literally complain to him, say, hey, there's plenty of white people out here that could use a job. And he's like, well, if they're willing to work for the amount I'm paying, get here when I need them to get here, stay here as long as I need them to stay here.
Yep.
And, you know, do what I ask them to, then by all means, I'll hire them, but they're not willing to do the work for the amount I'm paying them.
Yep. Nope, absolutely.
that's
And
why
I mean,
hires
there's,
who we
there's a
hire.
limit to how much like we can pay people. We pay people pretty good. Like even the people who are working here from like Mexico and India and stuff, we pay them good money, but we provide housing as well. But we, no local people will work for, even that much. It's not laziness. There's other jobs that don't require, like even jobs that pay less, that just aren't as hard. Nobody wants to do that kind of hard work. It's hard work.
Oh yeah. Working the farm is not easy, I can tell you.
Nope.
And are you trying to talk NB? Because we're having issues with microphones apparently today.
Mm-hmm.
No, I wasn't saying anything. I've got some family and friends who've been texting me today. It's been rather interesting. My cousin and I was talking with one of my best friends and his, I guess soon to be ex-wife, who's also a good friend of mine. I've known them both for like 20 plus years. Geez, I'm going to have to turn on. I got to turn off Facebook because everybody's
too many notifications. See, this is exactly why I don't have notifications on my phone.
Yeah, I don't have Facebook.
No,
I just don't have notifications. I don't have Facebook or notifications.
It's weird. I've got my cousin Ian, and then I've got my good friend Mikey, and then I've got his soon-to-be ex-wife, another friend of mine, Elizabeth, who I call Squeaker. And I'm probably the only person who still calls her that. But that was a nickname I gave her 20 years ago because one time she got tickled and she started squeaking, and I just started calling her Squeaker from there on out. No, I wasn't the one who tickled her, by the way. She was just a friend of mine.
That's okay. I'm super ticklish myself.
Actually,
and I also make an inadvertent weird noises when I'm being tickled. Yeah, then I punch. So, I don't really recommend it, but
I am not ticklish.
it was so funny about, I don't know, a few months back, I put my hands around my wife and she just did this little jump. I'm like, what do you think I'm going to do? Tickle you? She goes, well, maybe. I'm like, I haven't tickled you in 5 years. And you're still jumping with that? Because she
if
is
you're ticklish, it's like you can't help it. It's inadvertent.
Apparently so.
The ticklishness is real, man. You don't understand.
You going to hike today, Dandelion?
No, I went yesterday.
Ah, how far did you go?
Yesterday, because I knew it was going to pour with rain today, and although I will hike in the rain, if I have the option to not hike in the rain, I'm going to take it. No, today I'm actually going to work on getting some stuff up on my Etsy shop. I dyed yarn last weekend, and I want to get the items posted.
What'd you do?
Yep.
Tuesday or Wednesday, Dandelion, Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to be trying to take a picture of the corpse flower for you.
Ooh, cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's supposed to be blooming sometime this week.
And that's an occasion where I'm glad we don't have smell-o-vision.
I know. I'm not looking forward to that part.
I remember in the 90s and 2000s, I think they were trying to make that a thing.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, it was called like vision or something.
Aroma vision and movie theaters. Yeah, you had popcorn. Yeah, bullet. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
see,
yeah.
I just don't know. I just don't want. I have a really, really sensitive sense of smell. Like I can smell things when other people can't smell them, and most of those like weird. Like if somebody walks past me and they've been using dryer sheets, I almost have an asthma attack. It's just disgusting.
Then you do not want to go see David Copperfield live because he uses smell-o-vision in his productions.
No. It wouldn't be the first time I've had to like leave an event because of the chemical odors are too strong.
The one odor that affects me when it's the holiday season is artificial cinnamon smells. I literally I cannot walk down. If I smell it, I got to go down another aisle. I mean, like I will literally gag from that smell. I cannot. Now I love cinnamon, and I can smell cinnamon naturally, but that artificial,
Yep.
Yeah, I can't handle it.
Yeah, a lot of the artificial smells are just super gross.
For my day job, one of the times I had to do these displays for the holiday candles,
Mm-hmm.
and because of the mix match of all the scents from all the candles, it just to me made me want to vomit because I couldn't handle all those scents at the same time. And even like when I'm in the mall with my kids and I'm walking past one of those stores, I can't stand it. I got to hold my breath because it's just so overpowering.
I can't walk down the laundry aisle, like the chemical cleaning aisle. I can't even go down that aisle.
When I go down the aisle and if I have to go the aisle with the artificial cinnamon, I will hold my breath as long as possible to get through it because I can't stand that smell. It just so
and it's stuck in your nose all day. If there's like a bad smell, you're just stuck with it forever. Oh, so gross.
If I'm going to the mall and I need to go to the department store, I will literally go to the top floor to avoid the perfume when I walk into the main floor aisle.
Yeah.
I do not want to smell that shit. I do not want to get sprayed. I'll walk to the top. I'll go to the top level, then work my way down.
Yep, that can be pretty bad too.
And then one of my stores, I don't know what the fuck they throw away into their dumpster because I got to throw some of the product that that doesn't sell into the dumpsters.
Mm-hmm.
This one store, it is just I gag every single time I got to throw something away. I don't know what they're throwing away every week, but it is just putrescence in its most pure form.
Is it vile, Mike?
No, vile in that case is when I do vile, it's a good thing. In this case,
I was just teasing because play on words and stuff. No, fragrance is definitely a thing I've got issues with.
One thing I've never been able to handle, and I generally have a strong constitution, but one thing I cannot handle is vomit. I can't handle the look. I cannot handle the smell of it. It's like one of the few things I'm just like, I can't clean this up. I'm going to end up throwing up myself.
Yeah, it does actually invoke that response in people. I think I don't know why, but it definitely is a thing.
Yeah, it is.
I will say this. The smell of my own vomit definitely makes me want to vomit more. But
okay, guys, maybe we should change the subject. This is just getting gross. Now I'm thinking about vomit. Let's change the subject.
Well, I was just gonna say maybe it's because you're in parent mode, but when your kids do it, you kind of push through it, and you don't have as big of a reaction when it's your kids. But it's when someone, sorry.
When it's one of your pets, though, it's like, oh my god,
yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Do you have any pets, Dandelion?
I have some fish at work. I used to have a dog. I used to have a lot of ferrets, like a lot of ferrets. Like I think at one point I had about 12 ferrets in the house. But I rent, so I don't have pets now. It's just too inconvenient to try and find a new place if you've got to deal with a pet situation. But I like animals. I always pet other people's doggos. And the house where I live, there's 2 doggos that live in the backyard and a bunch of chickens and a pony and stuff. So I got lots of animals around. Plus I run into doggos when I'm out hiking and I get to pet other people's doggos. And when it's other people's doggos, you don't have to clean up after them.
Well, there is that.
You just get to pet their doggos.
We had an
Mrs.
interesting...
Vile's aunt had a birthday party for her aunt yesterday, and we went over, and her aunt had this little tiny, I don't know what kind of dog it was, but it was really small. It's not a Chihuahua or a Pomeranian, but it was a very small dog. And I think I was the only person not fawning over the dog. And yet it decided to sit on my lap.
Yeah, probably because you were less annoying than all those other people, like cooing over it.
Everyone's like, "Oh, cool, come here. I would go, come here, let me pet you." And I'm just like, "Why are you licking my hand?"
So outside my house, we have a tree house here that the previous owners had, and I'm eventually going to tear it down, but I'm not going to do it till after my cat passes away because that's more his like outside home. But I swear to God, it was so funny. Yesterday, an incident happened. Just like all of a sudden, I'm hearing. I'm like, oh shit! And I look out the window and I see my cat Mocha, and a cat that looks like my cat Caramel, but is my neighbor's cat. And apparently they were in there and they were just meowing at each other. I'm like, oh no, I'm not doing this. I don't need another cat fight again. And I walk out there and that cat runs off. And then my cat just runs up to me and goes, all right, pick me up and put me in the house. Which, of course, I picked him up and put him in the house.
I'm not much of a cat person, I have to admit. Like I like other people's cats, but I'm not. Like I wouldn't have a cat.
Yeah, I don't have pets.
Yeah, I miss my old cat. He was one of those.
I got to mute real quick. My wife just got. I got to mute for a few minutes. My wife just got here, so I got to help her get the groceries in.
Alrighty.
But yeah, my old cat was one of those. I don't give a shit about anyone or anything. I'm top animal around here, regardless if you can walk on two legs or have bigger teeth than me. The point where basically we took him from my mom's place to my dad and stepmom's place because they were having a gopher problem. And he solved the gopher problem.
Yeah, our dog growing up,
we didn't have to call an exterminator.
Care of many gophers around our place.
But because my stepmom bred cats, and she, I guess she was a little bit guilty about that, or felt guilty about breeding cats. She also took in strays from the ASPCA on occasion to help take care of them, so they could find better homes for them.
Hello, not Ryan Johnson.
And
just noticed
at one point, she had 2 pit bulls that were rescued from a dogfighting ring.
I met a whole bunch of pit bulls yesterday, and they all gave me hugs and kisses. It was lovely. Every time I've met like a pit bull, they've like been the friendliest, like kissiest dogs I ever meet. They're so cute.
Well, these things had been beaten, so they were kind of afraid of people, especially guys.
Yeah, I imagine.
But when it came to other animals, especially other dogs, if a neighbor walked by with a dog on their leash, these things would, bark against the fences to try to get out. And there was 2 layers of fences to keep them in.
Yeah.
A metal fence and a wooden fence. But they would try to kill any dog that walked by, or, raccoons that were on the property. They would chase them like they were going to murder them, like Freddy versus Jason or something.
Right.
My cat would not put up with their shit. My cat, despite being 1/10 their size, would jump into their enclosure with them, eat from their bowls, and drink from their water dishes.
That's pretty funny.
They would just let him.
Yeah.
It was kind of
funny. I guess they had an understanding.
But like one of the stories I used to tell, my dad had a Honda Goldwing, similar to one I had, just his was newer. And my cat would sleep on the passenger seat for the Goldwing.
Right.
And normally, if you start an engine around the cat, they freak out and they run away. Not my cat. He'd start the engine, the cat would just stay there asleep in the seat. He would get on the bike. Still, he'd just stay there. He would start driving down the road. He would stay there. And my dad was sure that if he didn't push my cat off at the bottom of the hill every day, he would ride with him all the way to work.
Well, there you go. That's pretty cute.
The cat looks comfy. What do you want, man? You don't want to disturb a cat with sleep.
That cat was going to be wild.
So, but I don't know what ended up taking him down. Probably old age at that point, because he was like 12 years old. But when he passed away, I buried him on the property, even though you're not supposed to.
Yeah, I know. What else are you going to do, right?
dinner.
Well, I'm not gonna just
not
send him
gonna
in to
eat
get
a
burned
cat.
up
That's
to a
just
grave
gross.
because he was the leader of that area. He needed a proper monument and
Mhm.
be buried at that area, as far as I was concerned. Besides, he killed enough things while living there. He might as well provide life for other things out there.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the spirit. Did anybody else watch the new episodes of Bad Batch?
No, I
That
stopped
show's
watching
actually
after
finally
season 1.
getting kind of good. I got to be honest. It's kind of finally kind of coming into its own. They've kind of got some more like big plot stuff going on, which was the fault I always had with it. It was kind of like wandering lost in the wilderness, there was no focus to it.
Well, I think that was also kind of the point because, they were Republic soldiers and now they're off on their own trying to avoid the same organization or what ended up turning into the organization that they were originally part of.
Yeah. But
I'll be
anyway,
back.
it does need to have a little more direction.
I'll be back like about 5-10 minutes.
Sure. Did you watch it, Mike?
I have not. The only thing I watched this week was I started watching that Masters of the Air thing.
Oh,
I don't
how's
know that.
I watched the first 3 episodes.
I don't know that.
so far?
Say that again, MB.
How is Masters of the Air? Masters of the Air is basically based on the same people who did Band of Brothers and Pacific. What was it called again? Pacific what? I haven't seen it yet.
Well, if it's not made by the same people, I would be shocked because it is trying so hard to be Band of Brothers in the Air.
Yeah, I mean, it's made by the same kind of people in the same aesthetics as Band of Brothers, and I believe the other one was the Pacific, and that was the Navy version. So this is dealing with the Army Air Corps, which I do want to see because that was a predecessor to, the Air Force, which I did retire out of. So definitely want to see that because they went through a lot.
And I did, because I'm kind of an aviation geek, I did notice that the B-17s that they're reporting to be using weren't introduced until almost a year later in the war. So I did notice that. They're using like the G and F versions when they should be using the B and C versions.
Yeah, okay.
But it's easily forgivable because most people aren't going to realize, the ball turrets that they're using on the bottom didn't exist at the time.
Could you imagine being the guy in the turret?
No, the turret.
Yeah, the turret.
Not the turret.
No, the ball
Not the
turret.
turret.
No, the ball turret. Could you imagine being someone in a ball turret?
You mean turret?
That's what I said.
No, you said turret. You're adding an N.
Whatever.
And no, I would not want to be one of those guys. Those things were freaking cold. It got like -7 degrees Celsius in those things, and all you have is a thin pair of pants and a jacket to keep you warm. No.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance yet. I'm gonna watch after I get off of here. I am gonna watch some of that Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm curious to see how the live action is. Now, granted, I watched Full Contacts. I watched the M. Night Shyamalan movie before I saw the series, and I actually enjoyed the movie. But then when I watched the series, I was like, now I understand why everybody was so pissed about the movie. It's like when you're trying to cram 11 hours of story content into a 2-hour movie, it's not going to work.
Yeah. I agree with you because I liked the original movie when I watched it with the eldest Vile child, and then she told me how wrong I was.
Yeah.
And I still haven't seen the cartoon, but
oh, you haven't?
Mrs. Vile and I almost started watching it this weekend, but we decided to watch a World War II documentary instead.
Now, I remember watching the Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then when I watched the first season, I was like, "Oh," that's when I said, "Oh, I get it." They tried to cram all that into one movie. I'm like, you just can't do that. So, I mean, it's been probably a decade since I've seen the series. So I'm not 100% sure, but how it's going to be, I'm not sure how the characters are going to be remembered for me. But I'm willing to give it a shot. I mean, let's see how things go. I found something interesting.
Sorry, I'm making noise here. I'll mute for a sec.
How's
It's okay.
How's those potato chips going there, Dandelion? So I found something interesting out. I was watching a YouTube channel. I was watching, I think it's Yellow Jacket, and he had mentioned that Amazon is doing a couple of Spider-Verse kind of stories. One of them is going to be Spider-Man Noir, and one of them is going to be Silk. And when I read about it, it's like the Mary Sue got pissy because they fired the entire writing room, and they basically stated that they want the show to be for more a male audience, which translation means probably a sexy young Korean American and a sexy outfit, some hot looking bitches, some good action, I don't know, maybe kind of Buffy the Vampire Slayer kind of esque. That'd be nice.
And what show is this supposed to be?
It's going to be on Amazon. It's supposed to be called Silk Spider Chronicles, and it's going to be based on the character of Silk. She came out in
I know the character.
Okay, you know the character? Yeah, I don't know the character very well. I'm not familiar with that. I'd been out of Spider-Man comics since before One More Day.
Well, Silk was introduced, I believe, before One More Day, maybe after. I'm not 100% sure. But she was essentially
introduced in 2014.
She was bitten by the same spider as Peter Parker.
Mm.
And because she's a female and he's a male, they basically have this uncontrollable urge to have sex whenever they're together for any length of time.
That sounds weird.
So, yeah.
Sounds like a porn.
Yeah, and instead of wearing, like, originally her costume was literally just wearing webbing from Spider-Man's web shooters. That was her costume.
Well, they're also apparently doing Spider-Man Noir, which I'd be all for. I'd love a noir Spider-Man story because I love noir films. But what they did was they ended up firing, like I said, they fired the entire writing staff, and the woman who's running it is Angela, I think, Kang or Lang. I can't remember exactly. And she did a lot on The Walking Dead. Damn, she looks hot.
Yeah, that was her original costume.
It looks like some BSMD stuff there. And no wonder she's saying sweet.
But let's see, her current costume is more of that is a horrible version of it. So let me find a better. Why? Hold on. I don't want the article. I just want the picture. Okay. I don't know why certain websites do it that way. It's like you just want to open the picture, but it's opening the whole freaking article.
I know, it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay.
One of the interesting things I thought was so funny is the way the article went was, don't men have enough? What can't women have some nice? It's like, well, you had the Marvels. Look how that turned out. And do we really want to talk about Madam Web?
Haven't seen Madam Web yet. I actually liked the Marvels. But
I also liked the Marvels.
Yeah, but here's the key thing about the Marvels. What I'm saying is, when it comes to that Madam Web, women didn't flock to see these, but they went and saw Barbie. The key thing is knowing your audience. And this, look, superhero movies a lot of times are catered to mostly males because we're the ones who, by the vast majority, buy comics, watch those kind of things. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, my wife likes different things. I like different things. We don't watch always the same stuff. I mean, in fact, when we find something we both like together, it's a real treat.
I think part of the problem, from what I understand, I haven't seen Madame Web either, is if you're going to use a character that's doesn't have a lot of mainstream, like it's not that well known to like the general public, you have to make that plot in that movie amazing. Like it's got to be like spot on, because then the first weekend, some people go see it. They're like, I'm going to see it because it's a comic book movie. Because you want those people to say, it was amazing. The story was great. The visuals were amazing. And then everybody goes to see it later, right? Same thing like with Iron Man. Nobody knew that character, but they made a really good movie. So everybody went to see it, and then more people went to see it, right? It generated its own buzz by being awesome. You can't have like a very mediocre movie or plot with a lesser known character, I think.
Well, let's say
hold on. I'm going to say that I think the Marvels, and specifically every Marvel movie released in the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, is suffering from MCU fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to have, like you said, it has to have a really interesting plot or element to the plot to make it worth watching, like Werewolf by Night, Loki, WandaVision.
Actually, I like Loki season. I very much like Loki season 2, by the way.
I liked Loki in general. I thought that was a pretty fun. That was like a really interesting show because it's so like kind of contradictory in a sense. I know people had issues with Loki kind of falling in love with himself, but I don't know. I thought that was pretty like spot on for Loki. He kind of already is in love with himself.
I agree. Falling in love with himself is perfect.
Yeah, I thought, I agreed. I thought, no, this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It made sense. But I really liked how he was humbled at the end. He goes, I know the kind of God I need to be.
Right.
And then he did. I was like, that was, and I didn't watch it for a few weeks. My son watched it and he goes, Dad, you need to watch Loki season 2.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And when my son recommends something to me, I mean, he's very matter of fact like me. And he's like, it was good. I was like, yes, it was actually pretty good. I thought it was better than the first season. I'm sorry so many people tapped out after the first season, but I think they missed the point that the first season built up to the second season.
I enjoyed both seasons, to be honest. There was lots of like fun little things mixed in on that first season too. That, I mean, there was just so much they were just having so much fun with it. But to be honest, I recently saw Thor: Love and Thunder. I didn't hate that. Like, the bad guy wins, more or less.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman dies, so bonus points for that. I'm sorry, I'm not a huge fan of that character.
My whole thing
I kind of agree with you, but I like the fact that they handled it very similar to in the comic books, because she becomes Lady Thor essentially in the comic books as well. But it's also she's dying of cancer in there, so they didn't remove that aspect or They gave
Sugarcoat it.
her a reason to want the power. Essentially.
Yeah, I think the whole. I actually thought watching Thor: Love and Thunder. Here's where I'm at with that one. I thought it was an okay coda for Thor's character, and answering a lot of questions and giving a satisfactory ending. But what the laughing like yaks or the screaming yaks, I was just like, oh,
those are actually from the Norse mythology.
I was turned off by that.
I actually did find those.
Those goats are from the comic book. Actually, they were a gift. There was actually Thor's goats in the comics, so that was actually accurate.
Yeah, and they're actually from the Norse mythology as well.
Well, I just thought they were annoying, but I did like how Natalie Portman's character made some of those like superhero quips, and everybody's just like,
right,
whatever. And but I did enjoy. I enjoyed the whole thing. I'll tell you what I did enjoy about the movie. The whole thing with Stormbreaker coming in and looking at Thor like, what? You know, the whole thing is this, and it's just like, it just turns and looks at it. But I could not help but laugh my ass off. I was like,
I know.
That is so funny. And he's having this conversation with the axe. And remember, he gives it a beer.
Right? Yeah.
I thought those were great moments.
Yeah.
And
well, he has such a relationship with his tools, right? So, I liked it too.
I also like the ending of it primarily because it harkens back to the first Thor movie. When we have Loki finding out, essentially, you know, that he's adopted, and he's actually the son of one of Odin's enemies. And one of the things that Thor shows that he is very much like his dad is he adopts the child of his enemy.
Yeah.
But instead of raising her in a way that like Odin did, he's open and honest about it.
Yeah.
He's trying to
gave her
follow in his dad's footsteps without
Stormbreaker
doing the same mistakes. And I thought that was great.
Well, I thought it was interesting that, you know, the only thing I thought was done wrong, I mean, big time, was I just didn't like how the God Killer was portrayed. I'm like, you had this awesome actor in him, and I felt like they underutilized him.
Would you stop quoting Christian Bale? Okay, he felt underutilized. He said that.
Look, Christian Bale is a phenomenal actor. I mean, fucking A, American Psycho, for God's sakes.
He felt his performance was underrated. I mean, he was underused in the movie. He felt that. He's like,
yes, he was. He was very much underused in the movie.
Hey, put all the strength and character into his character. He was a method actor during this production, and people just like, okay, they pass it over. I'm like, fuck off, guys! Christian Bale should get an Oscar for this, like Heath Ledger did for Joker.
Yeah,
I
think
know, like,
part of it was just it's such a huge ensemble cast. Everybody's a little underutilized.
Well, I think one of the biggest problems with it was you had such a great actor like Christian Bale in this, but you know, he was going more the serious route, and the whole thing seemed to be more comical, and it just, to me, that was kind of one of the biggest issues, because it didn't always feel, I was kind of like, okay, we're going from comical to serious, we're going from serious to comical. I'm like, the transition was a little bit of a problem for me, and I just felt like Christian Bale was, if they had done this more like a contemporary drama, I think Christian Bale could have really been shining like all hell in that, versus making this kind of an action comedy, which is what I think it was.
Yeah, but you got to remember this. If his whole premise is to kill the gods, he had 3 chances to kill Thor, and he just didn't even do it. What was that about?
Well, he was kind of trying to pull a Thanos. He was trying to kill all the gods at once instead of doing it individually like he was doing before.
Oh, yeah, that MacGuffin was so annoying. It's like, oh, you get one wish. It's like, how did Thanos not know about this? Why did he go for the
I
Infinity?
know.
He could have done that. The plot armor was very thin in that movie. Now, I will be honest. The Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was, in my opinion, an amazing coda.
I liked that one. And I'm like a huge Rocket fan. Like, really, he's my only character. That and Groot, they're the only two characters I really enjoy in those movies. I like Groot.
One of the things I was kind of happy about. This was one of the reasons we didn't go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in theater. Is we were disappointed with Doctor Strange and 2, and we weren't particularly happy with Ant-Man and the Wasp, the next movie. And, unfortunately, we missed out on that when we should have gone and seen it, because the Rocket backstory was just fantastic. My biggest concern was I was worried they were going to overdo the whole alternate Gamora and Peter Quill, Star-Lord. But they managed to balance it out quite nicely. And I was very impressed.
Yeah, usually when a movie cuts back and forth scenes from past to remembrance to present time, it kind of gets confusing, but the way they kind of interacted with the lines and all of a sudden Rocket's past, you had a certain scene in the line, then Rocket's past, it was actually interflowing. I like that little concept.
Yes,
well, it was also easy to tell it was in the past because he was little.
Yeah.
But I mean, Rocket, it was so interesting.
Go ahead, Mike.
One of the issues that I'm having a lot with the MCU movies of late is they were able to get away with having shitty villains in the early days because comic book movies hadn't become stagnant. The problem is a lot of these movies still have these villains that just don't fit anymore. They're always trying to make them sympathetic. I'm like, just give us a Joker type character who wants to kill for the sake of killing. Stop trying to make everybody this tragic figure that's the hero of their own story when they're actually a villain. Give us some actual. I'm tired of this.
Okay, let's take a Hans Gruber. Take a Hans Gruber. We all love him as a villain, but what was his motive? He was a thief.
Yeah. He was a thief willing to kill his own men to get money.
We got Rice Krispies Downs again.
Is that Elihu?
I don't know who's eating Rice Krispies. I can't tell.
Me?
Oh, okay. Are you eating Rice Krispies again?
But,
no, that was my speaker. Sorry. Okay.
Now, when you
say how about at the end of every superhero movie, we do not have a same old trope where an equally powered supervillain is fighting the equally powered superhero? Come on, enough is enough.
Whoa, Elihu's really loud now.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Well, let's go back to Christopher Reeve and who played Lex Luthor?
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman.
Yes, Gene Hackman.
Yeah, Hackman.
Now let's look at that. You have basically a god going up against a guy who he could take out easily, but what Lex Luthor was able to do? He uses intelligence against Superman. Very well. In fact, I thought I did personally. I think Gene Hackman played the best Lex Luthor, in my opinion.
What you got to remember in the comics, Lex even referred to everybody has superpowers. His superpower is his intelligence.
Because his power is his intelligence, and that was one of the things he was able to do. But also, he had, whether people want to admit this or not, he had a charisma about him. Remember, he ran and won president. He was president in Superman's comics.
Yeah, that's true. He was.
Even Smallville recognized that one. And that was one of the biggest stories. It was like Lex runs for president and he wins, and Superman can't do a damn thing about it. It was always amazing how he'd be like,
I think it's funny you kind of bring that up, though, because in the comic books, one of the things that Lex Luthor does at the time was to not to. Well, one of the things he does is he literally gives away LexCorp to Talia al Ghul, or her sister, I can't remember which one, so that he wouldn't have, he wouldn't be making money as the president of the United States. He gives away his entire company so he could be. He's like, no, I just need to be president just so I can order Superman around.
Oh, what was that? So you're saying Talia al Ghul or her sister? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It was one of the Al Ghul's girls. I can't remember which one he gives the company to.
I always liked when Ra's al Ghul, and by the way, it's Ra's, not Roz. Fuck you.
It's like Shang-Chi, not Shang-Chi.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest things I couldn't stand about Batman Begins was when they called him Roz. I was like, fuck. His name is Ra's.
Ra's al Ghul. It's Hungarian. Come on.
It's like, you got to call him Roz. I mean, at least Batman, the animated series, got it right. I was just kind of like, Ra's al Ghul. I'm like, dude, I want to fucking punch you. You're so misdoing his name. That being said, I think, what was it, Liam Neeson playing Ra's? I thought that was pretty good. But I did love that scene with Christian Bale in there. He's like, I don't have to kill you, but I don't have to save you. I was like, yeah, that's Batman. That is Batman. It's like, I don't kill, but I don't have to save your ass.
If a train killed you, you killed yourself, man, not me. Hey, bye.
Sorry, I decided to look it up to figure out which one he was, and it was Talia, but that he gave it the company to. But apparently, in one of his recent stints in prison, Luthor signed over control of LexCorp to Superman without his knowledge and renamed it Supercorp.
Jeez.
That sounds like something Lex would
Sorry.
do. Well, I love
exactly.
it.
That's funny as hell.
I remember reading the first comic that brought in Ra's al Ghul, and he comes up and he's like, he knows who Batman is. He's literally the first guy to discover who Batman is. And it was just so funny because he shows up in the cave, after hurting Robin, Dick Grayson. And he's like, I know who you are, detective. And that's the way he always refers to him, as detective. It's always been his key thing, is referring to him as detective. And one of the only other times, see, this was the thing. This is one of the things that always bothered me. They did make Bane as smart as he was, because I remember during Nightfall when I read the comic, Bane got binos on, and he looks and he sees Bruce Wayne. He goes, "That's him." He goes, "Who?"
Yeah,
that's man.
He figures out fairly early on.
Yeah, he figures out very quickly. But what he says was so amazing. Was he sees Bruce Wayne? He's like, "It's Batman." How do you know? You think he can put that mask on and fool me? I mean, he literally understood that Bruce Wayne was the mask. Bruce Wayne was the mask, not Batman. Batman was who he truly was. Bruce Wayne was the mask he was putting on. It wasn't his secret identity. It was just he was in a mask. And when I read that, I was just like, oh my God. I remember reading that as a kid. And then he put Batman through the ringer, and then he breaks him, and even Bruce is right there in front of him. And he's like, I'm not afraid of you. And he still fights him and then gets his ass kicked, and then gets his back broken. Oh man. I remember that. To me, Batman getting broke was worse than Superman dying.
All right, I hate to go back a little bit because I'm still on the article about LexCorp on the DC Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Okay, the different branches of LexCorp. There's LexComp, which does technologies like computers and stuff like that. There's Lex Oil, which kind of is self understanding. There's their communications department, which has Lexcom and Lextel, as well as the Luther News Network, LNN. An enterprising branch called LexOr, a financial sector called LexL Investments, the philanthropic areas, which include the Luther Hospital, Luther Home for Children, Luther Foundation for the Arts. But the two funny ones, he has a supermarket chain called Lexmart, and a video games division. This could be a Jep Nerdy question. What do you think the LexCorp video game division is called?
Lex Games.
Lex Play?
Lex Games.
Close. Lextendo.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's like Lugal.
Oh no hot tub time machine, please. No. See, I even know that reference, okay?
All right, actually gonna go. I got all that stuff I want to do today. And I have to tell my yarn to look pretty and smile for the camera, so. And then I got to do a bunch of writings about them, and I got to cook for the week, and all that good stuff.
And all that jazz.
Yes, exactly. All that jazz. But it's been a delight. You have plenty of people here to entertain you, Mike. Always good.
Well, thanks for being here.
Always a fun.
Thanks for representing our nation's hat.
You're welcome.
Now we just need to know where the America's Wang representative is. Where's the Florida man?
I'd just rather be the hat than the condom of the Americas. So
yeah, I don't blame you. Later.
All right.
Later.
Bye, folks.
And you brought up the Star Trek cruise. Why? Is there something going on there, Elihu? Because I have no idea. I don't keep track of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, somebody decided to have a Gorn costume, and they're the life of the ship. It's pretty funny clips. And Walter Koenig was there. Somebody asked him to deliver a line.
Really?
In his Chekhov accent, and he did. He's like, "Could somebody tell me where the nuclear vessels are?"
Nuclear vessels.
Yeah.
We're looking for the nuclear vessels. I think they're in Alameda.
Yeah, Will Wheaton gave a quote-unquote heartwarming speech thanking Jonathan Frakes for being more of his dad than his actual dad. And his on-screen mom, Gates, for recommending the doctor for his mental health issues. He really thanked them, and he was crying. Like, I really wanted to go on that cruise. Connie Nelson was telling the story about how she was at San Diego Comic-Con. I forgot what actor she was with. She was walking on the floor. People were stopping them, and she was so excited until people were telling her, "Can you take our picture?" They didn't know who she was.
I'm hoping to make it to the Indy Comic-Con this year. It's 25 days away.
There's a little Star Trek convention going on here in Birmingham next month.
This is going on over in Indy. Oh, they've updated the. Oh shit, they've updated it.
Yeah,
okay,
I calculated.
I'm not going to go see George Takei because I'll probably say something very mean to him.
It'll take me an hour and a half just to get to Birmingham by public transportation. Then another 20 minutes to walk to the hotel and the convention itself because no direct bus routes. I am not going to Birmingham.
Holy shit, Robert Patrick's going to be there now. Lou Ferrigno. Oh shit,
Well, see,
Charlie
Lou Ferrigno goes to a lot of conventions. I've met the guy twice at conventions. So,
hey man, this is an updated list of people here. I'm trying to check it out. Dude, Charlie Cox, the guy who played Daredevil, is going to be there. Now, oh fuck.
yeah, one of my
Randy Quaid,
celebrity meeting stories about Lou Ferrigno. The second time I ran into him, he did not recognize me, of course. I mean, he meets thousands and thousands of people every year. But when I told him I'd met him before, he goes, "Oh, well, he acknowledges that that he doesn't remember, of course." But then he also starts telling me all about his ear problems. I mean, he talked to me like for a solid 10, 15 minutes about his ear problems, and I'm still like, because I was a teenager at the time, and I'm like, this is the fucking Hulk. I sat there raptured by him, like, yes, please, sir, tell me more about how you have very little hearing in one of your ears. I am thrilled. Yeah, please, I love this.
Yeah, he was also Hercules in all his Italian movies, right?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, these are the guests coming to Birmingham next month, dude.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Dude, they're saying Hayden Christensen's going to be there now.
Ethan Phillips, $40 for an autograph.
Leasley?
80.
Oh, God. How can you not? Oh, God, I'll have to stand in line for him, definitely. See, I was originally going to see John Rice Davis, Edward James Olmos, and Tom Welling, but now I'm seeing that, and Anthony Daniels. Now I'm like, holy shit. Fuck you, Will Wheaton. Shut up, Wesley.
I mean, look
how
much.
Just go to see if I can get them to do plugs for the eBay store. I got to go back, and now that I got the new computer, I got to redo the 3 celebrities I already have and get those back so I can play them during the live streams.
Look at it, $75 for an autograph for Jerry, or $80 for a photo with John.
Getting to meet William Shatner was obviously awesome. But I'll tell you what, when I got to meet the guy who played Juice from Sons of Anarchy, one of my favorite characters from that show, and I stood there, I said, hey, can you put something on there? And I knew I was going to screw it up. I said, can you put, just let me finish this pie? He goes, no, it's just let me finish my pie. I was like, damn it, I knew I was going to screw that up. But he wrote it on there for me. Awesome guy. I paid double so he'd sign my Sons of Anarchy Season 7 DVD set. But really nice guy, just some of these people are awesome. Jeez Louise, man, they really updated. I am not.
Tony Todd is funny because he'll wander around the convention floor, right? People barely recognize him because he always has his sunglasses on and his hat. But when he's on the stage giving a speech, he's always basically head naked. But he'll walk around. If somebody spots him, he'll say hi, take a picture, get an autograph, and walk off without charging anything, right? I happened to spot him because I knew what he looked like with the sunglasses on. I tried to take a quick picture, and I got a blurry thing of him because he walked by really, really fast. I'm like, try to take what's scarier than this? Tony Todd messing up my picture trying to take him on the convention floor. He responded with like a whole bunch of laughing emojis.
I think I met Tony Todd once. Now,
funny dude.
One person I do want to meet is Jodie Benson, who was the voice actor of Ariel for The Little Mermaid, which is my favorite Disney movie. I've made that very clear for a long time. But geez Louise, I was only planning on going for Friday. I might have to actually go for Saturday.
If the convention's on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Saturday is a prime day. Friday is just like a 4 or 5 hour opening thing.
Oh shit, Bruce Greenwald's gonna be there.
And Sundays when things go on sale on the floor. So it's different things to go for different days. Friday you just want to go for the opening and get your shit right away. Saturday you want to do everything. Sunday you want to get discounts. That's how you look at conventions.
Yeah, I would not want to see George Guy. I mean, I've already got him. He's like one of the few people I've got blocked on Twitter because I can't stand his shit.
I can't stand Beltran. I'm glad he blocked me.
Oh, Beltran blocked you?
I'm so fucking glad he blocked me.
Really? Chakotay blocked you, huh?
Yeah, he was posting homophobic tweets. Well, X's and tweets. I asked him, "Are you homophobic? Can you answer yes or no?" He blocked me.
Ugh. Lou Ferrigno. Oh my God. Seeing the Hulk. Dude.
I asked him a question and he just blocked me. I'm like, okay, fine. I guess the answer is yes.
I take that as a yes.
Yeah.
I don't think I've been blocked by anyone who is a Star Trek cast member, although I was surprised I didn't get blocked by Shatner once, because when he was doing the whole I'm not talking to reporters about this. What I can't remember what the exact thing was, but I did a meme of him, saying that line while on the bridge of the Enterprise B with all the reporters, and I was like, I'm probably going to get blocked for this, but he never did. I thought it was funny.
Oh, they got the voice actor who did Ezra Bridger. That ought to be interesting. They've updated their list since the last time I looked at it a few weeks ago. So also, I've noticed nobody's been canceling either. So that's a good thing.
Jeffrey Combs' autograph is $60.
Days. I'm gonna need some money.
Yeah, I want to get a photo with Frakes since he missed out on the Fan Expo a couple months ago here.
Well, I definitely want to see Tom Welling because he was supposed to be here. I think it was a year or two ago, but he had to cancel out. He was one of the ones who had to cancel. So that'd be nice to see. But oh God, now I'm like, James Olmos, I definitely want to see.
Oh, today's his birthday, by the way. Edward James Olmos, today's his birthday. Today's his birthday, yes. Edward James Olmos.
Yeah, you see, it's so interesting because when I think about it, I'd like to get, if I could
think it's this week or next week.
I don't want, I'd love him to do like, so say we all from Battlestar Galactica, but then I'm like, I remember him all the way back in Stand and Deliver, which is one of my favorite movies.
That was a freaking awesome movie. So yeah,
that is such an awesome movie. It is so well done. And it was so interesting when I realized, I was like, oh shit, this is Edward James Olmos. And it was one of his earlier roles, I believe. I mean, wasn't Stand and Deliver in the 1980s?
Oh shit, I forgot when it was.
It had Lou Diamond Phillips. I mean, it had Lou Diamond Phillips in it as a young man.
Today is also Anson Mount's birthday.
Yeah, well, he was great.
I'm sure he's watching, so we'll say happy birthday to both of them.
Hey, Star Trek actor.
We know that they're absolutely watching this really tiny YouTube channel.
Yes, they are.
And let's see.
So Felicity Day is also going to be there. I'm trying to think of what I remember her from. It's Supernatural.
Apparently his first roles were in the mid 70s. So by 88, he was an established actor.
Yeah.
Just not, I mean, I didn't even realize, I probably would have recognized him if I watched it again, but he was in Blade Runner.
He was?
Yeah.
No way. Well, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Blade Runner, so it's obvious why I don't remember that. I know Harrison Ford and Rutger Hauer were in that. Man, I would have loved to have met Rutger Hauer and just talk to him about doing Blind Fury. I love that movie of his.
Blind Fury is one of the ones that I have on my hard drive right now. I like that movie. It's such a quintessential 80s movie.
That butter knife ain't gonna stop no bullet. It was probably, I think, one of Rutger Hauer's best movies, in my opinion. And I always liked him as a B-list actor. I mean, he did some movies that, most people didn't maybe care for, but I always enjoyed a lot of his stuff. But Blind Fury is definitely one of my favorites.
Well, let's see. Stuff I can list off the top of my head that he was in that I enjoyed was, of course, Blind Fury. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie.
Oh yeah.
Buffy.
Oh, God, so campy. That was such a campy movie.
Paul Rudd's death scene at the end.
Anyone who doesn't like his role in Blade Runner, I mean that his role in Blade Runner is probably one of the greatest performances of all time, in my opinion, for especially a sci-fi film.
That's a fair way to look at it.
But I'm now going to his filmography, and he's got a whole bunch of stuff on here.
Yeah, he was
starting
one of those,
from 1969 all the way to
actors.
20. Well, he has stuff that's still in post-production. So even though he's passed away, there's still stuff that is going to be coming out with that he's in.
Let me look up a TV show. Kindred, the Embrace.
Let's see. I'm trying to go through.
He was one of those character actors, like another character actor I really like. I gotta find him though. Yeah, he was of the Bruhawk clan. Brian.
God, I can't. How did I forget? He was in Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh my gosh, that is a cult classic.
That is an awesome movie.
Shit.
Sin City, which I loved.
Oh yeah.
Someone was cult classic.
Yeah, he played the Cardinal, didn't he, in that movie?
Yeah.
That was the movie. Yeah, he played the Cardinal in the. Oh my God, that was probably one of my favorites of the anthology in that. But man, the Bruce Willis part was just epic.
God, he was in Lady Hawk. Another one of those quintessential '80s flicks.
Bruce Willis. Is Lady Hawk's Bruce Willis movie?
No, you're thinking of Hudson Hawk.
Oh,
Lady
okay,
Hawk
sorry.
is
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, you're thinking about.
Yeah. Sorry, I got confused.
Matthew Broderick and Michelle Pfeiffer with Rutger Hauer.
Gotcha.
Yeah, another guy I really liked who's a character actor who I've seen in so many things. He's one of these guys who just shows up, was Brian Thompson. If you don't know who Brian Thompson is, he was one of those, he was one of the street punks. He was the one who said in Terminator, "Wash day tomorrow. Nothing clean, right?"
Yeah, he also played Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh, God, that movie.
And he was in Star Trek quite a few times as Klingons, as Romulans.
Yeah, he was Klingon helmsman in Star Trek Generation. Oh, God, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. God, what a terrible movie.
Yeah, but it's one of my guilty pleasures,
You can have it, man. I love the first movie, but that second movie, I was just like...
Yeah, they downgraded Raiden. I'm like, come on, Lambert, what the hell? Come on.
I know.
How can you do that?
I was in the same boat. I was like, where's Christopher Lambert? Wait, you're killing off Johnny Cage? What the fuck?
Yeah, like this is not. Yeah, the first
Sonya Blade.
The first 7 minutes of the movie, I'm like, nope, I'm done. This is not Mortal Kombat. No.
Yeah, it didn't work for me. I mean, Mike, if you love it, that's more power to you.
I didn't say I love it. I said it's a guilty pleasure, kind of like the first Mario Brothers movies with John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins. They're just guilty pleasures that I like watching just because of how stupid they are. So yeah,
I'm looking forward to Carl
realize
Urban's
that.
version of Johnny Cage.
Carl Urban's?
All right,
Yep.
Brian Thompson, Klingon officer, in Next Generation, Inglatu in Deep Space Nine. I don't know who that is.
Wait a minute, Brian. That name sounds so familiar.
He played a Jem'Hadar in Deep Space Nine.
Oh,
He played
okay, Terminator
he played
guy.
Admiral Valdor in Star Trek Enterprise.
That's right. He's awesome.
So
Clover.
he's played 2 different Klingons and Jem'Hadar, Romulan, and
This is what
something
he
else.
looks like. I'm sharing my screen. This is what he looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's he's one of those character actors that just he's one of those guys you just see in so many things. You're just like, oh shit, I know that guy.
He's to me, he's like a Arnold Schwarzenegger where you can actually understand what he's saying.
That's one way to look at it.
You know, hang on, let me show you this. Kind of like this guy right here. Let me show you this. All I did not even search for his name. He's not really known by his name. This guy. I searched Ryan Howard's brother.
Oh yeah.
Clint Howard.
Yeah, I didn't even search Clint
Howard.
Ryan Howard's brother. This is every single search came up with this guy. I'm like, you have to know his name.
God, have you ever seen? I think it's called The Ice Cream Man or Ice Cream Man or something like that, where he plays a killer ice cream guy, and that movie is so schlocky and bad, but it's again it's a guilty pleasure type movie. You watch it because it's fun, not because it makes sense.
I was at the liquor store the other day. I was talking to a former coworker of mine, Diane, and she looked out the window, saw my Jeep, and was like, saw my vanity plate, and she goes, "Oh my God, Killer Clowns from Outer Space!" I was like, "It's a guilty pleasure for me. I love that movie." And she's like, "I love that movie too." It's so cool. It's like so many people know that movie that was underrated, but it is such a cult classic.
I remember watching that movie with a friend of mine who had a deathly fear of clowns.
Oh God.
And I'm not kidding. She gouged her fingers into my arm and drew blood.
What is an irrational fear of clowns called? See, I have acrophobia.
Marriage.
Fear.
It's called marriage.
Clowns. I've been married twice.
Coulrophobia.
Coulrophobia. Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I couldn't pronounce it. Coulrophobia. I just like
Coulrophobia.
Yeah, an irrational fear. Apparently, a lot of people have that fear. I had no idea how people had such a fear of clowns. Oh, there was like that episode of Supernatural where what's his name was always into serial killers, but it was like his Dean goes to his brother. He goes, "Oh, that's right. You love reading about serial killers, but you have a fear of clowns." And there was something about John Wayne Gacy. I don't remember exactly the details. I just thought that was interesting.
Kind of like Wong has a fear of a recurring dream of being chased by a clown while running naked.
Well,
You watched way too much of that movie.
I don't have a fear of a lot of things, but I had to look it up. I have a type of fear called isopterophobia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it's a fear of termites.
Ugh. My
I don't like termites.
My daughter's a bit of a agoraphobic, man. She can't. I don't know if there's a term for a fear of bed bugs, but boy, does she have one.
I have elithiophobia, guys. I suffer majorly from elithiophobia.
You're afraid of giants?
No, I'm afraid of idiots.
Uh,
I'm not afraid of idiots. I just don't like them.
I only fear idiots with power.
Yeah, that's funny you bring that up. I I was on TikTok and I made a comment or I did a video and I was talking about certain black liberals in power and how they're under investigation. I was like, I remembered my experience with black liberal women. And I got a community guide violation for that. I won the appeal. But then apparently some young scholar who's 27 years old decided to do a 4-minute response video to me. And I was like, okay, let's hear what you got to say. So I responded back to it. I chopped it up and I responded back and things. And I was just like, oh my God. He's like, you have no, it was one of those typical things where it's like, you don't know what racism is. I'm like, okay, how do you know what it is? I was like, hey, I just simply stated my experience and you want to call me a racist? Yeah, like I haven't been told that most of my life.
Dude, you're not doing it right. You need to shave your head, get some ear loops, get a whole bunch of tattoos, and change it into quickie binder.
If I shave my head, well, first off, I've got 17 tattoos. Shaving my head, if I do that again, my wife will get pissed. Because I did that. Remember I did that 2 years ago?
Yeah, dude, you got to do the George Costanza move. Rub some oil on it all over your head. Hey, baby.
My wife was so pissed when I bicked my hair. No, she was totally fine with the crop thing. The whatever the hell it is. But when I was like, oh, I hate this, I was like, I just started bicking it. And she hated it. Thing was, I thought it looked great. But the funny thing is, one of the reasons I didn't shave my head back in the 90s or early 2000s because I didn't want to be compared to a neo-Nazi or a skinhead.
God, I don't even know when I started shaving my head.
What?
I don't know if it was before or after I started going bald. But after a while, it was just like, I give up. I'm just going to shave it. I don't care.
Hey, I told my wife, I was like, look, either it's long or it's all gone. I said, there's not going to be an in-between anymore. She said, leave it long because I don't want you having your head shaved. I'm like, okay, I can work with that.
Yeah, I do not cut my hair.
You had a mohawk once.
Yeah, that was like about 10 years ago. Sorry, it's 15, 17, 18 years ago, something like that. It's been a while.
Dude, you shaved all your shit off. Now, I've actually, if you guys remember, I used to have my sides shaved and I only had this long. But then I shaved all of it off and then I just let it grow out the last few years. Yes, I know. You've got all that length, you motherfucker. Are you wearing a turtle? Are you wearing a turtle shirt? Wait a minute, Eli. Are you wearing a turtle shirt?
Hang on. Let me show the back.
You got the size. Eli.
Full shell, man. It's a full shell shirt.
I bought this. Look at my shirt, buddy. I bought this the other fucking day.
I'm not wearing a turtle shirt, but I'm wearing green. Does that count?
No, it's not well, it's not St. Patrick's Day yet, so I don't think it matters.
Hey, this was $3.
No, it was so funny. It was so funny. I went into Walmart to get something, and I saw the clearance section, and the shirt was $5, and they had it in my size, and I'm like, hey, yeah, you're going home with me, buddy.
Hey, $3 at the thrift shop, okay? I looked at him like,
nice.
Oh, cool, Raphael. I put it on my shoulder. I'm like, Wait, there's a bat shell? Oh, nice.
Turtles in a half shell, buddy.
Turtle power. And of course,
Turtle
you notice which one I actually grabbed. It was Radical Raph. Oh, sorry, here's the R. Radical Raph, see? Raphael.
Yeah.
Had to do with the
The
attitude,
size,
man.
like the size weren't a giveaway when you turned around.
Well,
One of the funny things, because I'm weird, when I played Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon, just for shits and giggles, I always make a turtle deck. A deck where all my creatures are turtles.
turtle.
And lately, not lately, but when me and the eldest Vile child were playing with her friends, in order to give them a chance, sometimes I would play with the turtle deck because it was by far my weakest deck. But I always warn them, if I win, I'm playing a certain song. And when I would win with that deck, I would play Turtle Power from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action movie.
TROTUE power. TRUTE. Oh, the half shell. They're the heroes for, and therefore, who could ask for more?
I'm surprised you didn't play Vanilla Ice. Turtle Rap.
No.
No,
Sorry.
that was the second movie. That was Secret of the Use.
Oh, sorry.
That was Ninja Rap.
Ninja Rap.
Ninja Rap. That was Ninja Rap. TRUTLE power. TURTLE power. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
I love that song. God, I hadn't thought about that in forever.
Casey
But
Jones.
yeah, I warned them, if I win with the turtle deck, I'm playing the turtle rap, and they hated it because I would always do it.
Yeah.
Your lunch is done.
My lunch is done. Thank you, honey. So one of the funny things I always loved about that first movie was when Casey Jones does, oh yeah, leftovers. And then my most favorite scene when after Shredder falls in and then Casey just goes, oops. I love that. I just love that scene. It's like, you just straight up murdered the guy.
Oops.
Oops. It's like literally we're watching a PG-13 movie. We're watching a PG movie and you just, oh God, where did our hosts go? Elihu, take control.
I was smoking.
What do you want me to do about it? I'm drinking. I'm going to leave in a few minutes and have my lunch.
Look at this little goofy head. You really want this goofy head to take control?
Do you want me taking control? Are you out of your fucking mind? I don't know who's more Malkavian, you or me. I think we're about equally crazy.
According to the psychiatrist from the mental institution I escaped from, yeah, I am a little nuts.
Well, the 12 voices in my head keep telling me I'm crazy. I keep telling them they're fucked up, but, they don't want to listen.
I know. I get along with me, but myself can be a real asshole.
I know. Tell me about it. It's like, dude, just shut up and let me think. Stop talking.
Yeah. It's okay to talk to yourself, just as long as you do not involve a third party.
Oh, by the way, we forgot. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
I really hope the next season that we see the way Positive Canner said it. That would really be cool if what's her name becomes the president.
Oh yeah, that would.
Yeah, Danny. That would really be cool. That would really be cool. Hey, Mike, what happened, buddy?
You guys started roboting, and since it was both of you, I figured it was my end, so I reloaded the page, and it suddenly was saying that couldn't connect to StreamYards.
Well, we were talking a little bit about For All Mankind, and I agree with what Positive Candor said. I'd like to see Danny Poole as the next president in the next season.
Yeah, America really into pee-pee. She is.
Well, remember I asked it because it was going to be around the 2012 timeframe, if I'm not mistaken. So that's when Obama was president. So I'm kind of like, well, who are they gonna do for that? And then he mentioned Danny Poole. I'm like, well, yeah, that would work. I mean, we already had
President Ellen.
yeah, Ellen. Oh God, I miss her. I miss her, and I miss her. I mean, but her character at least got closure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very happy about that for the most part, definitely. So I read up, actually, the actor who plays Danny Poole, there was talk about killing her character off, and they were all in the series on board with this. And I kept wondering about that because, you know, you'd hear the way she talked about things. I'm like, oh shit, they're not going to kill Danny off, are they?
They could just 180. That would actually be really cool if they did that. Hype up the character, and all of a sudden, boom, dead. Like, what the fuck? Pull a Tasha Yar on us.
Was, well, apparently, according to the actor, she said they were on board with it. They were going to do it. But then when they got to the end of the season, they were like, they brought her in and they were like, we can't do it. And she was initially like, no, you have to do it. It's like, no, we just don't feel it's right. And she ultimately agreed with it, but she, you know, was a little surprised. And I mean, that's an interesting thing when you have a character that you want to kill off, that wants to get killed off, and all of a sudden, you know, the writers are like, no, we can't do that.
I think I know where she was coming from, because when I asked Danielle Panabaker what was going through her mind and emotional state as an actor when she found out her character was getting killed off, like Caitlin and Snow, her first answer immediately, without hesitation, was relief. And all of a sudden, Carlos was like, "What do you mean relief?" She's like, "Oh, I got to play somebody else." She wanted to try a new character. I understand where she was coming from.
Oh, that's a fair assessment. But
yeah, she got to try something new.
I don't know. I mean, you know, losing. I thought Ed was going to die this season. I was actually surprised he lived in when I saw, you know, Danny get shot. I'm like, no, you're not. I was like, no.
It had been Danny.
Like, not Danny. Dude, I was like,
well,
I was getting.
Hold on. I got to say, at the end of season 4, thematically, Danny or Ed should have been killed off, or what they ended up doing, of course, because there almost was no other way for it to happen. It had to be a tragic accident for it to work, as I said, thematically.
I thought it worked where she actually got home and got her. I'm sorry. It's just like, I was like, no. I'm like, not Danny. I'm like, I was prepared for Ed to die off, but not Danny. I just wasn't prepared for that yet.
That's why I said if they would have killed Danny off, that would have been a hell of a trope. I'm like, that would have been an awesome ending. Unsuspected like that.
Oh, yeah.
Boom, like, what the hell did you guys just do? Get more talk, more publicity.
You killed off one of the biggest American heroes.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of talk, a lot of media, a lot of pull. They'll get really pushed for another season with higher ratings, more special effects, bigger budget. Yeah, that would have been great if they did that. But no, you walk off the ship on Earth. Oh, come on, Danny. You're supposed to be dead.
No, I disagree with that. I think that was the better way to go about it because the idea of Danny dying, I mean, Ed, I was totally fine with. Yeah, it would have been a hell of a shocker if Danny had died, but God, I don't know if I'd watch another season without Danny. It's just like Danny is kind of like, you know, got the heart and soul of everything. I mean, she was one of the youngest of the women to go into the Reagan administration. And, you know, we saw all the things that have happened. I was like, come on.
It's black. It's going to be black on Mars.
I was just kind of like, oh, come on. We cannot lose another OG character. We've already lost enough. I just felt like, you know, with everything Danny had been through between what happened on the moon, what happened on Mars the first time, and then afterwards, I was like, come on. She got asked to be. She got begged to go back to Mars. She was retired. She was done with it. They brought her back, obviously. And I said, because she's probably one of the few people who's going to be able to put Ed in his place. And she kind of did.
But if she does run for politics, they're going to bring up the Mars incident, how she failed, that she was command of the whole entire situation. She couldn't handle that, and there goes Earth's riches. That if she does run for president, that will be brought up.
I disagree with that. While she was the commander of it, it was not. That was not totally on her. Look at what happened to the guy who was in charge of NASA and what he allowed to happen. And yeah, Danny made mistakes. Danny made quite a few mistakes as a leader at that point, but she had a different agenda. And there were things going on Earth she didn't fucking know about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you guys think Margot's going to come back in a cameo in the next season?
Maybe in a flashback, a remembered scene, but no, I think her character's done. She's too old.
Yeah, well, not only is she too old, she's going to go to federal prison for treason, defection, and sabotage.
Yeah, her character's done.
Yeah, the only way I could see her character coming back is if oh shit, what's her name? The illegal immigrant. What's her name?
She's a citizen now. Don't forget that.
Elena.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the only way it would work out is if Elena goes and sees her in prison.
No, she wouldn't.
Probably not.
No, she's still upset because she doesn't understand the love part.
Yeah, I think her character will get explained out in one of those little clips they do, like they've done with the time change. Like, remember, we're going from 2005 to 2012. So we've seen how they do those little news clips of the alternate history. I can't imagine her character surviving very long in prison.
Nope, probably be a little headline like Moscow Margot killed in prison.
Or Moscow Margot committed suicide.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah, because that would actually play in the show. It was like, suicide. Yeah, we get it. A little conspiracy side story.
Well, it would fit in with it. Well, look at what that fucking KGB guy did. I mean, he lets the guy. He doesn't even get a bite of his fucking hamburger from McDonald's. I was just like, dude, that is cold.
Cold-blooded, man. Let the guy get a heart attack before you shoot him. Sheesh.
I was just like, come on, dude. You could at least let him eat the sandwich before you shot him. Or you could have shot him beforehand. But no, you wait until he's about to take a bite? That's some cold-ass shit. Dude, that is some cold-ass shit there.
I know you're it's a sad moment, but the way you're talking about it made me laugh.
Well, yeah, it's a sad moment, but it's like I said, it was just kind of, I was like, you didn't even let him finish the sandwich. You didn't even let him take a bite. It's like he's about to take a bite and you shoot him in the head, and you're going to try and play that as a suicide. How does that fucking work out? How am I supposed to buy that this is a suicide? Oh, he unwraps the Big Mac. He's about to take a bite and suddenly blows his head off. I was like, what kind of KGB agent are you? Obviously, one doesn't know how Americans are.
Very sadistical one, that's why.
Well, I mean, one of the biggest things was Margot, she was already screwed, and she took the blame for what her prodigy did, because they worked on that. And I'm kind of interested to see how this mining operation is going to work with it being on Mars.
Well, you got to know what Deborah said. It's going to be profitable for Mars itself, which means more profit, more exploration, more people, more money. So everything's going to be focused on Mars now instead of the asteroid around Earth. Instead of Goldilocks.
Yeah. Well, one of the things,
You
what
got
was
more
the
space.
name?
You got space tourism there. You got space investment. Yeah, he was right. Everything needs to be exploration, and this is the start of it. It may be greedy, but it's the start of it. Which you can see with the huge, at the ending scene, all that huge money operation and little buildings around. Like this is not mining operation. These are buildings. These hotels, housing for the workers. But then you see the space. You see ships around. Okay, you got space tourism. What is this showing? Oh, okay.
These
Yeah,
are the real and fictional spacecraft for all mankind. It's a whole chart this guy made.
That's awesome. I love their landing pods. I do enjoy their
He's got
landing
real world
pods.
ones here, including the ISS Skylab up there. Mir.
Yeah.
Mir.
What's the Chinese one?
Mir, I think Bueller.
What's the Chinese station?
And then they're supposed to be all to scale.
Buck Rogers.
He's got the Moonraker shuttle here, Buck Rogers, the Farscape 1 module, the Armageddon shuttles, Deep Impact, Space 1999, 2001, 2010, Iron Sky.
Wow.
Have you guys
Oh,
seen
Angelina-
Iron Sky? If you haven't, go
Angelina
watch it.
Jolie.
What is all about.
I've never heard of
Angelina-
Iron Sky.
Angelina Jolie with an eye patch.
No. That's Sky Captain. Iron
Oh,
Sky
sorry.
is Nazis on the moon.
Oh, that one. Oh shit. Sorry.
They even include the Star Trek ones. You got the Ares module. You got Friendship 1.
You got the Expanse. What
What
is the Rocinante there?
Yep.
Oh, there's the
Sorry, which ones?
Rocinante.
Yeah, it's right there near the bottom.
Yeah, look at that beautiful ship, the Rocinante. Beautiful ship.
Avatar.
Well, Mike, I'm glad you've enjoyed watching For All Mankind like me and Elihu have.
Hey, look, it's the Phoenix. First contact.
Yep.
Where's the Phoenix?
Left.
On this right now, it's on the far left. Shoot, standing.
Oh,
straight
I
up.
see it. Okay. Sorry, I missed it because I see the first contact. I missed it because the wings weren't out or the nacelles weren't out. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nacelles weren't out.
It's a missile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Montana.
Yes.
Is that Space Seed?
Botany Bay.
Is that the Botany Bay?
Yeah, they have the Botany Bay up here too.
Oh.
Botany Bay.
In the Star Trek Voyager episode, where they go back to 1996, Sarah Silverman's character has a model of the Botany Bay with boosters attached to it, because they show how it launches from the Earth.
Oh, so they would break apart like back then. You know, kind of like our shuttles do when they lose their boosters, until what we've seen with recently with Elon Musk doing and dropping the rocket back down on the ground and landing.
Yeah, reusable payload, which is a
I
great
know.
fucking idea.
Isn't that crazy though, Elihu? I mean, you've sent me those links where it's like, hey, check this out, landing. And it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, first time fail, second time it was on the edge of the platform, third time, dead center bullseye.
Hey,
You gotta remember, Musk said the first two rockets exploded, right? The third time, he said, quote, if this rocket exploded, I would have left the space industry. If that was a successful launch, he's still at it. Seriously, if that rocket would have exploded, no more. There would never have been a SpaceX.
NB, there you go. That was how it's supposed to launch.
Nice. I never seen
So yeah, a
that
bunch of
before.
boosters strapped to the bottom, and you can see the top of the ship. So basically, all those boosters were just to get it into space.
Gotcha. So that was
Yeah,
the
it's
original of the
Steel.
body. Oh man, I haven't watched that episode with Sarah Silverman. And, well, first off, I can't stand Sarah Silverman, but that was back in the 90s before she became a total cunt.
Poor boosters to get
Really,
to space.
I like her. I
please.
like her, and I kind of that one movie she did with Michelle Williams, or they have the shower scene. Sorry, I can't help but enjoy that one.
Thank God your camera's off.
I don't really, if I'm going to be honest, I can't really think of a Sarah Silverman movie I've ever seen her in. I've seen her in TV shows and I've seen her comedy, and I'm sorry, she is terrible at comedy, in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there.
Well, I'm gonna check her filmography real quick.
Yeah, I need some movies.
I'm going to leave in about a few minutes because I'm going to eat my lunch.
I'll
I already
probably
have
end
my
up
donut.
noon in a couple minutes anyway.
I already had my donut. I'm good.
You didn't get your Danish shit, Lehu?
I did. That's why I went. That's why I said I'll be back like 5-10 minutes. I went to a different donut shop because the price is a block away. It went up like $3 for a donut now. I'm like, no, I'll go 2 blocks for a $1.10 donut.
Let's see some of the movies that she's been in that I like. Something About Mary, Heartbreakers, Evolution. I don't like
Evolution,
it, but
I very much
School of
like.
Rock, Bad Santa.
Bad Santa's good.
Of course, she was in Futurama, The Muppets, Wreck-It Ralph, A Million Ways to Die in the West. She was funny in that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've never seen A Million Ways to Die in the West. Yeah.
Oh, dude, the ice. You have to watch it just for the ice. You know what I'm talking about, Mike, right?
Yes.
Yeah. If anything else, just for the ice.
And of course, 2 episodes of Star Trek Voyager, but I think that's the only Star Trek she's done.
I think so too. Yeah, I think she only did that 2-parter when they went back in time to the 90s. I don't know if you guys saw in the group meme there. I thought it was so funny because it came out. It was like, you two look like you're villains from a MacGyver episode. And then the response was, you look like Miami Vice characters. And I was looking at their outfits and I was like, yeah, that fits. But it worked for that episode because they really didn't know how to dress back then. Although the funny thing I would say now is if they tried to do a Star Trek episode where somebody came back to 2024 and they had pointed ears, why would they need it? They wouldn't even need to cover them up. People would just be like, oh, that's so cool. Or
rice picker accident.
Or
it was a mechanical rice picking accident as a child.
Actually, if I'm going to be honest, this day and age, I don't think anybody would really notice.
No, they won't.
Well, not only that, there is something known as a Darwin's point.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find a picture.
Yeah, I'm familiar with a Darwin's point.
But it's basically somebody who has, kind of a point to one of their ears.
Did you know that after the original pilot of Star Trek, they wanted to get rid of Leonard Nimoy's character because his pointed ears, and they were like, he kind of looked, that was kind of a devil representation, and Gene Roddenberry had to fight to keep him on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, well, one of the other funny things was Majel Barrett is Majel Barrett is number 1. She was basically fired because, women didn't like her because, where does this woman getting off talking like this? I was like, what the fuck? I was like, shit must have been different in the 60s.
Oh, yeah. But again, people still complain about stuff like that today. So.
Yeah, tell me about it. Well, women like what they like, and men like what we like, and despite what people want to say, we like different things a lot of times. Now, sometimes we find things that we like together, but a lot of times we have different tastes in different movies, music. It's just really, I mean, Mike, you've been with Mrs. Vile for how long now?
I'd say about 6 years now.
Yeah, so is your guys' taste in music and movies always the same, or is it a bit different?
Definitely not.
Well, I know there's a culture difference with you being American, her being Mexican, but that's the simple thing. We have different tastes. You just happen to have a little bit more of that.
For an instance, she likes the Beatles. I don't like the Beatles. I like a
I
couple of
don't
their
like
songs,
Beatles.
but I don't like everything. She likes almost everything they make.
You're either a Beatles fan or an Elvis fan. You can't be both.
I'm not.
Well, you can't be
like
either.
Pulp Fiction? Like Pulp Fiction? Come on.
No, I love Pulp Fiction.
I'm saying you can be neither, because I'm not a huge Elvis fan either. There's, again, a couple of songs I like of his, but I don't like a majority of his work.
Well, when it comes to music, when people are like, "What are you a fan of?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Yeah, I'm like, I just, when I hear people say they listen to everything, and I'm kind of like, okay, that's a generic answer. When I say I like things, I'm like, look, I like hard rock, I like heavy metal, I like I like rock from the 80s. Now, I don't like pop music past the 1980s. I don't like country past, for the most part, past 2015, because it got what I call too poppy. I like jazz a little bit, but that's mainly when I'm relaxing. But I can't say I'm like a diehard fan of any band or any, like those people who know everything about a band or know everything about an artist. And I'm like, no, yeah. I don't know that. I don't, I liked watching VH1 Behind the Music back in the day, getting some of the backstory, but I just never committed myself to that kind of thing. I'm sorry, I had a life.
When somebody asks me what kind of music I like, my answer is K-pop, rap, anything modern country that is not on my playlist. What else you want to know? Yeah, that's how I simplify my questions.
I wonder how that Bob Marley movie did.
I don't know. It's on my queue to watch.
I don't know.
One Love?
How you doing?
Yeah, I heard about it.
Hey. How you doing, Mikey?
He's high. Mikey's high when he's not high. Colorado.
Stop by before I end the stream.
He's a mile high guy.
Speaking of which one? What song should I end the stream on?
Oh, Bob Marley made $101 million. Sorry, I was just checking.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it made more money than Madam Web and was in less theaters by like 500.
I'd rather spend the afternoon hanging out with Ezra Miller than watch Madam Web again.
Ouch.
He says he's a Las Vegas guy now.
Oh, yeah. You want that?
No, I know it. Well, I know he's in Vegas. I know why, too.
I forgot you were a Flatlander.
I'm not a huge fan of Vegas. Once you have a guy put his hand on your shoulder and insinuate that if you don't leave the table, he's going to break your legs, you don't really like that town anymore.
That's Reno.
Yeah, that sounds more like Reno.
Yeah.
I'm with Elihu on that one. That sounds more like Reno.
Yeah, that's why I don't go to Reno, man.
I was playing at Circus.
Oh.
Still sounds like Reno.
You might as well have been in Reno at that point.
Yeah.
What'd you do? Were you card counting?
Card counting is not illegal, but frowned upon. I can easily card count when I'm playing blackjack. I mean, when I'm playing blackjack.
Since I still haven't uploaded the new versions of the old ones, Which one should I play? Sunshine, Life Forms, Prison Song, Opera, or Blue Skies?
Elihu, okay, Elihu says Blue Skies.
All right, so I'm gonna yeah.
Never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by. When you're in love, my how they fly. Oh, blue skies, smiling at me. Irving Berlin, nothing but blue skies do I see.
All right, you're 19 years old now. I figure it's about time you got one after all your complaining. I still don't know why. I'm not getting the sound when I'm playing them. Hopefully you guys got the sound.
Yeah, well, we're getting the sound loud and clear, unfortunately.
Yeah, it wasn't that loud for me because I turned down my volume on my computer.
Yeah, I forgot to do that. I was expecting him to be up to date at this point.
These are the up-to-date ones. I don't know why it's the sound. It's StreamYards. That's all I'm going to say. I don't hear any sound.
Yeah, because I don't remember that being, well, I don't remember that being near as loud on TikTok when I saw it.
No, and it's the same video. Literally the same video.
It wasn't that loud to me. It was like perfect level. Unlike
All right.
the first.
Well, I'll see you. I'll see you guys next week. I might do a Jep Nerdy this week. I don't know. It depends on if Caddy finishes the thing that she said she was going to finish.
Oh yeah.
But I got this 9 board ready to go.
All right. Sounds like a plan, buddy.
Later, folks.